On one hand, he gives away millions of dollars, and people call him a modern-day saint. But on the other hand, he's been accused of exploiting poverty and running a toxic workplace. So today, we're going to try and unpack the paradox of Jimmy Donaldson, who you probably know as MrBeast. We're going to figure out how one person can be seen as both a digital philanthropist and, well, a ruthless ringmaster.
So let's just start with a number that is almost impossible to wrap your head around. 425 million. That's not a company's revenue, that's his total subscriber count across his channels. Think about that. He has built a digital nation with a population larger than the entire United States. He is the undisputed king.
And when you have an audience that big, it translates into some pretty unbelievable earning power. This is his estimated income for next year alone. That breaks down to almost $250,000 every single day. That's not just influence anymore. That is a form of global economic power. And all of that, of course, leads us to this massive milestone, $1 billion. He is officially the world's first creator billionaire. I mean, he built an empire from his bedroom that is now big enough to compete with traditional media giants. So the big question is, how does this even happen? Numbers like that don't just magically appear. How did a kid from North Carolina build a billion-dollar empire completely from scratch? What's the secret? Well, as it turns out, it's all about a simple but incredibly powerful feedback loop. Okay, so this is it. This is the engine behind the entire empire, what's called the MrBeast flywheel. And honestly, it's a pretty simple but relentless cycle. See, unlike other creators who might cash out their earnings, he poured every single dollar from ads and sponsorships right back into the next video. That meant that each video could be bigger, crazier, and way more expensive than the last one. This created a spectacle that just pulled in exponentially more views, which, of course, generated more money to start that cycle all over again, only this time, even bigger. And if you think that's just some business tactic, this quote right here proves it's way more than that. It's his core philosophy. For him, the money isn't the final goal. The goal is to grow the content, grow the audience, and grow the impact. The cash? That's just the fuel for the rocket. What MrBeast really represents is the absolute peak evolution of the creator economy. This is a system where creators like him build these massive businesses directly with their audience, completely cutting out the traditional media gatekeepers, like Hollywood studios and TV networks. In this world, he is the network. But that flywheel we just talked about, it wasn't just built to make bigger videos. The YouTube channel, as massive as it is, really just became the engine for something much, much larger. A rapidly expanding business empire that's literally jumping from your screen into the real world. And just look at how fast this has all happened. I mean, it's kind of nuts. In 2020, he launches a virtual restaurant chain. Just 2 years later, he's going head-to-head with Hershey's with his own line of chocolate bars. And just this year, he's invading 2 new fronts at once. Traditional television with a $100 million deal with Amazon, and the grocery aisle with a new snack brand. This is an all-out expansion. And let's be clear, these are not small side projects. We're not talking about a YouTuber selling a few t-shirts. Feastables is a $100 million a year business. MrBeast Burger did over $150 million in revenue before he actually sued his own partners over quality control. He's even turned his charity into a scalable business with Beast Philanthropy. He's building a full-on consumer goods and media conglomerate. All right, so that brings us to the side of MrBeast that has truly defined his entire brand. We're talking about his spectacular, absolutely massive philanthropic stunts that have become his signature move. Take this project, for example. He funded 100 new wells across several countries in Africa. That gave 500,000 people access to clean drinking water. It's a huge, undeniable, real-world positive impact. And just like everything else he does, it was also a viral video, neatly packaged and broadcast to hundreds of millions of people. But this is exactly where the whole narrative gets, well, complicated. This is where the sharp turn comes in. Critics have started to question the ethics of turning charity into viral content. The big accusation is that he might be exploiting the very people he's trying to help, essentially using their poverty as a backdrop for entertainment. Because for all the undeniable good he does, there is a growing course of criticism that questions the methods behind the philanthropy. And it forces us to ask a really tough question. What is the real cost of creating this kind of content? It's like there are 2 different versions of MrBeast out there. On one side, you have the public image, YouTube's biggest philanthropist, a super generous entertainer, a pioneer of the new media world. But then, on the other side, you have some pretty serious allegations from former employees and critics, a difficult, even bullying work environment, poor quality products, and even accusations of faking videos and rigging contests. And his huge new Amazon show, Beast Games, really captures this tension perfectly. You've got a $100 million production with a $5 million prize. It sounds incredible, right? But behind the scenes, reports started to come out about mistreatment, with contestants alleging they were denied basic things, which led to injuries and, in some cases, even hospitalizations. So, when you just step back for a second and look at the whole picture, the billion-dollar valuation, the consumer brands, the global philanthropy, and all the serious controversies, it becomes really clear. We're not talking about a YouTuber anymore. We're talking about a completely new and very complex kind of media mogul. And if you had any doubt about his long-term ambitions, just consider this for a second. He was offered $1 billion for his entire operation back in 2022. $1 billion, and he just walked away. He's not looking for a quick payday. He's building an institution that he wants to last. I mean, his ambition is written right there in the financial terms. He turned down $1 billion. He says he won't sell for anything less than 10, maybe even 20 billion. And right now, he's raising money at a $5 billion valuation. This is a scale of play that no creator has ever even come close to before. So that leaves us with the ultimate question, right? Is the MrBeast model, this blend of high-stakes entertainment, consumer brands, and viral philanthropy, is that the blueprint for the future of media? Or is it a cautionary tale, a warning about the very real ethical gray areas that pop up when views, virtue, and venture capital all start to collide?